Good morning. We're going to be looking at Hebrews 11 a little more over the next several days, probably a few weeks, and we're thinking about faith. We looked at verse 1 and we pick up in verse 2. Let me read verse 1 again. Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Verse 2, for by it the people of old received their commendation. Now those people of old are going to be listed, a bunch of them, throughout Hebrews 11. It's known as the Hall of Faith. And one of the things we're going to do as we work our way down through it is we're going to see how Hebrews 11 shows the connection points of faith to other virtues and to other strategic dispositions and actions in life. But faith sits at the center. So I want you to, as we move forward on these days, imagine that faith is like a bicycle wheel where you have faith at the center and you'll have all of these various pieces about righteousness and relationship and respect and all kinds of things that will come off of them, or off of faith, like spokes on a wheel. And they're all connected to this virtue of faith and extend out from it. The people of old were commended because of their faith, because of how their faith manifested in changing the way that they lived. And this is the nature of faith. Faith is not benign. Faith is active. Faith has a way of changing how I see the horizon of my life so that I act a different way and happen to situations and circumstances genuinely differently. It's because I'm expecting in that God to manifest himself, to show up in ways in my life that I cannot see. In fact, the very next verse points out that this is the foundation of even our concept of creation. The very next verse says, by faith we understand, 11:3, by faith we understand that the universe was created by the word of God, so that what is seen was not made out of things that are visible. In other words, we can funnel back right in our material universe back to a point, and we say, well, okay, but how? What was the origin of life? How did something come from nothing? Science can never answer that question. There's a question that ends up being outside the realm of science because we'd have to get to a point where we could postulate a material nothing. And so we just step outside of science at that point. What we recognize is that life, in that sense, the reality is bigger than that which is material. And so we see a bang, for example, if you want to use Big Bang theology or cosmology, Big Bang ideas, you see a bang. Well, what do bangs have? As my friend J.P. Moreland famously said, bangs have bangers. You can expect that someone produced something. It's not that nothing or no one produced something. And so by faith we look and we say, there's something. We look and say, we postulate back and we recognize that the Word of God tells us that there was ultimately a Creator. And so we rest in that through the eyes of faith. So what I want you to see as we move forward in this look at Hebrews 11 is that faith is dynamic, and it changes the way we see the world. It changes the way we see not just the world at large in creation, an ex nihilo, out of nothing creation, but it changes the way we see our own lives and the narrative that God is weaving. May the Lord bless you today.